So we're going to check out this video where I guess some street preachers are stating that the Quran says that Jesus, Isa alayhi salam, is Allah's or God's holy son. Let's take a listen.
Is Jesus the holy son in the Quran, people? Jesus is God.
I want to apologize in advance for the music in the video. This isn't my video, so let's just take a listen. I can understand if you want to mute your audio while it's playing. I'll just explain what he says as we go through the video.
Holy son. Holy son.
Starts off by saying Sahih, so I think it's trying to say one of the hadith, but he then goes on to say that in the Yusuf Ali's translation of the Quran, Isa alayhi salam is called God's holy son. 19 verse 19. 19 is Surah Al-Maryam, so it'll be Surah Maryam verse 19.
Jesus is God the holy son. Yeah. Holy. Only one person holy, and that's God. Leave the woman out. Let me read the Quran.
Okay, so he says only one person's holy, and that's God. I'm baffled by why non-Muslims try to use the Quran to prove their religion is true if they don't believe the Quran is true. It's like, I understand why they're doing. They believe that because they believe that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam made the Quran up, they believe that God tricked him, I guess, or somehow placed Easter eggs within the Quran that if you just look hard enough, you can find them, and that proves that Islam is not true. That's the thinking behind their weird mentality. So anyway, let's listen to the rest of the video and see what he's trying to say.
This guy's sexy. Let's read the Quran. Let's read the Quran. You see, there must.
Also sounds like they're Jamaican, so I guess they're probably not in the United States. This is probably in, I guess, the UK Speakers Corner in the UK. So sound like they're Jamaican or West Indian immigrants to the UK. But that's not relevant, just pointing that out.
They don't want to read the Quran. They're kuffars. They're pagan kuffar. Surah 19, verse 19.
He said, nay, I am only a messenger from thy Lord.
This music is annoying. It's like they put the music so loud you can barely hear the people talking.
Hold up. Who's the messenger from thy Lord? Speaking about the angels.
That part they're right. In this verse, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is referring to Jibril alayhi salam as his messenger in this case.
Wait.
To the gift of the Holy Son.
Hold up. What? Read it again. God gave Mary a holy son.
Yes.
So this fool here is trying to cover up his life.
All right. Well, that's Yusuf Ali's translation. Let's see the actual verse, see what it says in Arabic. All right. So let's go straight to it. Quran.com, 1919. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. قال إنما أنا رسول ربك لأهب لك غلاما زكيا. He responded, I'm only a messenger from your Lord, talking about Angel Gabriel, sent to bless you with a pure son. The word here is pure. I don't know where to get holy from. I mean, I know where to get it. Yusuf Ali's translation has the word holy. And you got to understand that Yusuf Ali's translation was a very popular translation, especially in the 70s and 80s. I know of at least two books that have been published that had highlighted all the translation mistakes that Yusuf Ali had made in his translation of the Quran. But for lots of American or really English-speaking Muslims who were coming into Islam from other faiths or who had converted into Islam, the Yusuf Ali translation was the primary access they had to the Quran in English. But again, by the 90s, we had better versions. And I don't want to cast aspersion on Yusuf Ali himself. He never expected his translation of the Quran to become as influential as it became. It was like a personal project that somehow became the standard for the Quran in English. But this is 2026 now. We have many more options. Why they couldn't find an option in that video, I don't know. Just so you don't think that this is just Muslims just making stuff up, we're going to go even further. So I'm going to go beyond just Quran.com, the plain translation, go to Corpus Quran, right? Go to word by word section. We're going to go straight to 1919. And once again, it says, Ghulaman Zakiyan. The word here is translated as pure also, but let's still go deeper than that. Let's click on the word Zakiyan. they have this tool within Corpus Quran called Quran Dictionary. We're going to click here. Here you can see all the different variations of the word zakaya, which is a root word of zakiyan. You see here also uses the word for zakat. And as many people know, zakat is a charity that Muslims have to give once a year if they meet certain qualifications. And the word zakat comes from that same root word zakiyan, which means to purify, because the zakat purifies our wealth. When we give zakat, it purifies the wealth. But just looking here, we see that all of the variations used in the Quran. So this is what the Quran Dictionary does. It takes a root word and shows you all the different variations of that word in the Quran. You can see here zakat, 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 and then we get to purity, purity, purification works, purity, purity, zakat, 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 zakat. Nowhere is the word holy being seen here. Zakat, zakat, purer, purer, purest, more virtuous. Okay, purifies himself, purify, 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 purify. Purify, purify, all cause them to increase. That's different. Purity, 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 purify, purify. I think you get the point here. That was simply a bad translation, or maybe an inaccurate translation from Yusuf Ali. I don't think he had any bad intentions. He just simply made a mistake. However, it is disingenuous for these apologetics to go so hard in the paint on a mistake, on that mistake, and use that as the word, as the actual word of Allah, when it's just one man's mistranslation. And we can see here that Allah was telling Maryam alayhi salam that he was going to bless her with a pure son. And just in case you think that Corpus Quran is biased and that I am biased, we're going to go to Google Translate. I'm going to type the exact word in Google Translate that Allah uses, the exact phrase, Ghulaman Zakiyan, a pure boy. So if this doesn't prove it to you, I don't know you. I hope you don't think that Google is biased also. This proves that that loudmouth person over there in Speaker's Corner didn't do his homework. He didn't do the briefest of checks. You saw I found this out. He could just go to Google Translate to confirm his assumptions. Even though Yusuf Ali's translation of the Quran was very eloquent, he based it upon Old English at the time. I think he lived like in the early 1900s or something like that, 1920s or so. So he based it upon the rhetoric and the English discourse, and particularly upon the Bible. That's why he used lots of these and thous and thys and stuff like that in his translation, because he was trying to make it match the wording of the King James Bible. But again, that was Yusuf Ali's translation and attempt to make an English masterpiece. This proves once again that the apologists have a hard time attacking Islam unless they use lies. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. If I've said anything inaccurate, then the mistakes are mine and mine alone. And if I've said anything of benefit, then ultimately it comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Until next time, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.